Hello, guys. Today we are going to discuss where to use XML. Actually, XML is used in many aspects of web development. Thousands of XML formats exist in many different industries to describe day to day transactions. Some of the areas in which XML is used are stocks and shares, financial transactions, medical data, mathematical data, scientific data, news information, and weather services. So we have discussed where to use the XML. Now we discuss how to use the XML. First, we have to declare the below line XML version encoding UTF-8. In this encoding means it is the process of converting Unicode characters into their equivalent binary representation. And the XML processor reads an XML document. It encodes the document depending on the type of encoding. Hence, we need to specify the type of encoding in the XML declaration. In the above, the type of encoding is UTF-8, which means Unicode Transformation Format. So we now we see the steps for creating an XML document. Just write the code in your Notepad, Notepad plus plus, or any atom. Copy the and just save it with an extension XML.xml. Or if you are doing in an online compiler, just enter the validate button. If there is no errors in the code, then it will show valid XML, or else it will show an error and in which line or which column. Then press the XML tree to view the document. So now let's see it in a notepad. So I have written a sample XML code. First line, it is the declaration, it is the version 1.4 and encoding UTF-8. The second, the message, it is the root element, and I have closed it at the last line, the closing tag. In middle, it's just a message to everyone. Hi, hey, nice to meet you. It's from and a closing tag to everyone who is watching, and it's a closing tag. Note, hey, nice to meet you, and it's closing tag. And finally, we have to save it, save as hi.xml, and save it. After, you have to go to your file explorer, open it in your web browser if you have any. This is the way it will display. Actually, in Notepad, we didn't have any separate styling packages that is downloaded, so it shows like this. If you want, if you want to style the information, then you have to use Notepad plus plus, another Atom, another. So you can also use online editor for the styling. The most and best used styling is tree, XML tree. Now we see in an online tree. Yes. The same code I have copied and pasted it here. After that, we just have to format and beautify. Next, we have to click on the XML tree. Then it will show like this. Yeah. there is a message, three messages, and see from Akash to everyone who is watching, and note, hey, nice to meet you. It, the data Akash is self-describing, that is, it is from where it is, who is saying, and to everyone who is watching, that is for who the message is going, and note, it is what is the message. So we can use the this is the way we can use the XML. Next, here are some more examples for the XML editor. You can review it. After writing the code, we have to just validate the XML. Just we have to just click on it. If there is no error, it will show valid XML. Then we have to click on XML tree. Then we it will show like this for this code. So now we are XML is completed. Now we are going to discuss where to use JavaScript and how to use. So first, we all know that we use JavaScript in an HTML code for an interactive behavior. So we just see some of the areas in which we use it. In first way, in web development, JavaScript is a client scripting language which is used for creating web pages. It is a standalone language developed in Netscape. And other applications are web applications, presentations, server applications, web servers, mobile applications, and games. Now we have seen where we use JavaScript. Now, how to use a JavaScript in a HTML document. See, we just have to follow. You just can add a tag, HTML predefined tag script around your JavaScript code. The script tag can be placed either in a head part or a body part, depending on where you want the JavaScript to load. Generally, JavaScript can go inside the document head section in order to keep them contained and out of the main content of your HTML document. Now we see a sample code where we are using the script tag and a JavaScript in a HTML document. See, I am implementing the JavaScript in the body part and creating a variable greet and storing a string hello world in it. Now I was just using the function document.write of greet. Actually, it's same as printf in C. It just prints hello world. It just prints the contents in the greet variable. So in this way, you can use JavaScript. You can link it in the HTML code based on your usage. Thank you everyone for listening.